Hi everyone. I thought I'd make this video because I wanted to share my experiences of vestibular disorder, or labyrinthitis or neuritis or Meniere's or whatever you call it. It's pretty much near enough all the same. Mine started in February 2016, and when it first started, in fact a few months before, I remember feeling like a nerve sensation through my head, and not really thinking much of it. Thought perhaps it was a trapped nerve. So this started in February and I became disorientation. So I think, oh, things are moving in my vision a little bit. Some people get full-on dizziness when they get an ear infection, or the virus attacks the ear, but I had sort of that sensation and I dismissed it. Went to the doctor, they gave me beta-histamine tablets, kind of helped a bit, didn't really take the edge off it, and it gradually got worse to a point that when I was looking at someone, every time I turned my head this way or that way, the sensations just got stronger. It was almost like there was a resistance pulling in my head, and I found social situations very difficult. I'm a very confident person, I'm an athlete, so not being able to go into a supermarket without, feeling like I needed to get out really quick. Any social situations I just didn't want to go to, because how can you sit and talk to somebody like this and you just feel that sensation in your head? Sleeping wise was awful. There'd be all sorts of like electricity feels, things going through your head, zaps. You sort of be nodding off and it goes jart you. So those kind of things, palpitations, because the vagus nerve is attached to your heart, and if that gets inflamed as well, then that's liable to cause palpitations, and you get shaking down one side of the body. Again, when you look or you're watching telly for a long length of time, then your eyes would move, and of course that can start palpitations and the shaking. So watching TV was difficult, couldn't do that. Turn down the brightness, turn down the contrast, limit the amount I could watch. Even reading was hard. Lots of things that you take for granted become very, very difficult. And it is difficult to get yourself back into a routine, because you get anxiety, you get depression. I asked for tablets to help with depression and anxiety, and I was fobbed off and said, you know what, go and speak to someone. So a little bit disappointed with that. I found in the end what helped me, and this is now going on to the end of the year last year, was I started to look at law of attraction, look at maybe thinking that I could heal myself. We all do things, you try anything when you've got this, heal yourself. I used sturgeon anti-sickness tablets. I found they were much better for me when I had these symptoms. There are days, I'd cry and I thought, when's this ever going to go? And then there are days when it felt fine. Mornings tend to be quite spaced out for a long, long time. Again, social situations can still cause problems. So this is not an overnight go away problem, and it does take time to go. I think the minimum time it takes is 2 years in a lot of chronic cases. So my 2 years will be February next year. However, I also had eustachian tube dysfunction, which is when you swallow, you hear crackling, fullness in the ears. Oh, I don't know which one was worse sometimes. And that was very painful. And if you get colds or any other viruses, then what you've got just gets worse for a few days. I've tried these tablets recently for my eustachian tube dysfunction. Helped a bit, we'll see. It's a lot better. But then you do all the movements, pop your ears, put your head out, lift your ears up, swallow, all sorts of things just to try and clear it. You find you go coughing up phlegm. Where's it coming from? They checked my nose, they said nothing wrong with me. They checked my hearing, said nothing wrong with me. They checked the pressure, said nothing wrong with me. They did CT scans, nothing wrong with me. So you kind of think, am I making this all up? And you know you're not. You know you're not. So I'm a very active person, and I try to stay active, even though sometimes it was difficult. I love cycling, and you really do have to focus on retraining this brain. Can't tell you that's the most important thing. The brain will make new nerve endings, and it will focus. It will resist. It will resist, folks. But don't give in. Don't give in. Take days off, recover, go back again. I find when I sit for long periods not doing anything, it's worse. So I try to keep it moving. Going for walks, I'm like, well, I'm still, a bit spaced out. Feel like you're an alien from another planet. So in time, I'm hoping, not hoping, that's the wrong word, I will, law of attraction says stay positive, I will get better. So I wanted to share this information with you all. Yes, you're going to get all sorts of symptoms. You might get flashing lights in front of your eyes. You might be asleep and you can see black lines, white lines, noises, jerks of the head. You might have what I call a drop feeling, drops and say, oh, what's that? And it's really, really scary. That's because your brain can't work out where you are. Just suddenly the connections go. But take control of it, Bang your feet on the floor. Say, look, brain, my feet are here. I did read where a woman who was dizzy for about 10 years, and they couldn't solve her problem, but they kept making her say left foot, right foot, left foot, right foot as she walked down the road. Brain, this is my left foot, this is my right foot. And eventually she controlled it that way just by telling her feet that she was okay. Something to do with controlling your subconscious and making it aware. So far, I had a cold recently, as I say. I've got so much better. I even managed this year to do a 60-mile bike ride. How about that? So if I can do it, you guys out there, you can do it. You do have to stay positive. You're not alone. Sometimes you go out there and go, oh, look at all these people. They're normal. They can do this. They can do. You are not alone in this. We are here to support each other. Doctors don't always tell you what symptoms you have. They go, well, I don't know. Well, I don't know. So you kind of, well, am I the only one that gets these tingling feeling in my fingers and pulsating feeling in my feet? It's the normal part of the symptoms. But believe you me, you can get out of this. You can make the best of a bad situation. And I found through meditation, when I get the anxiety attacks and that, I breathe through them now. I don't let them get the better of me. That's the thing, that's the way forward. So onwards and upwards, and I will beat this thing. It will not beat me. And just to add it all to everyone, at the same time as this was going wrong, I ended up with a pacemaker for a low heart rate. So there you go. I got quite a lot of things go wrong all in one go. And the pacemaker was for a low heart rate. And that took 6 months to need tweaking as well. So when you got this going on and that going on, I didn't know where I was. So anyway, folks, if this gives you any hope that there is light at the end of the tunnel, just keep sticking at it. Small steps, small steps. Go out there, do the activities, do the exercises. Don't be put off by it because, it makes you upset. Get some proper help. Listen to people's experiences a little bit further down the line and ask questions. Don't be alone in this. We are here together. Hope this helps, and please leave any comments you want at the bottom. Thanks very much.